Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Buddy. I am Justine.
And I am Alex. And today, we are talking about one of the most intimidating, confusing, and terrifying places you can possibly go to when you move to a new country.
Yes, today we are talking about going to the gym and working out. It is a place filled with heavy metal objects, loud noises, and a completely different set of English vocabulary.
It really is like learning a secret code. If you don't know the vocabulary, you will look completely ridiculous. Or worse, you could actually get hurt. But do not worry, we are going to teach you everything you need to know today.
Absolutely. And before we dive into our hilarious gym disaster stories, please remember to grab today's free PDF study guide from the description box below the video. It has all the fitness vocabulary, the grammar rules, and a summary of everything we teach you today.
Yes, please download that PDF, because surviving the gym in a foreign language is a true test of your B1 English skills. Gym culture has its own slang, its own phrasal verbs, and its own unwritten social rules.
It is so true. The machines look like medieval torture devices. People are grunting loudly. The music is blasting, and everyone seems to know exactly what they are doing, except you.
Exactly. And I know this for a fact because during my very first month living in the UK, I joined a local gym and immediately had the most humiliating experience of my life.
Oh, I have been waiting for this story. Your disaster stories are my absolute favorite part of this podcast. Please, Alex, set the scene for us. What happened at the gym?
Okay, let me paint the picture for you. I wanted to get fit, so I joined a gym down the street from my apartment. But this wasn't a normal, friendly, commercial gym. This was a hardcore, underground bodybuilding gym.
Oh no, the kind of gym with rusty metal weights and giant men who look like professional wrestlers?
Yes, exactly that kind of gym. Everyone was huge. They were all drinking protein shakes and lifting cars. I walked in there looking like a skinny little language student. I was terrified.
That is so intimidating. What did you do?
I tried to act natural. I walked over to the free weights section. Now, for our listeners, free weights are the weights that are not attached to a machine. You lift them freely with your hands.
Right, and the small weights you hold in one hand are called dumbbells, which is a very funny word if you think about it. Dumb, meaning silent, and bells. Dumbbells.
Exactly. So I picked up some very small, very light dumbbells, and I started lifting them. Suddenly, this absolute giant of a man walked over to me. He was easily 2 meters tall, covered in tattoos, and sweating heavily.
Oh my goodness. Did you take his weights by accident?
No, he walked right up to me, pointed to a bench with a massive metal bar on it, and he asked me a question. He said, "Hey man, can you spot me?"
Okay, can you spot me? That is the most common phrase you will ever hear in a serious gym. What did you think he meant?
Well, I was a B1 learner. In my English classes, I learned that the verb to spot means to see something or to locate something with your eyes. Like, I spotted a rare bird in the tree.
Oh no, Alex. Please tell me you didn't.
I was so confused. I looked at this giant man. I thought, why is he asking me if I can see him? He is the biggest human being in the room. It is impossible not to spot him.
You thought he was playing hide and seek with you?
Yes, so trying to be polite, I smiled at him. I pointed my finger right at his chest, and I said loudly, "Yes, of course, I can spot you. You are right there."
You pointed at him? How did he react?
He just stared at me like I was a complete alien. He looked at my pointing finger, then he looked at my face, and he slowly walked away without saying a single word. He asked someone else.
Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. I can just imagine his face. You completely failed the gym vocabulary test.
I really did. I had to go home and search the phrase on the internet because I was so embarrassed. So, Justine, please explain to our listeners what spot me actually means in the gym.
I would love to. Listeners, in gym culture, to spot someone means to stand behind them and help them lift a very heavy weight safely. You are their safety net. If they cannot lift it, you catch the weight so it doesn't crush them.
Exactly. It is a request for help. When you are lifting a barbell, which is the long, heavy metal bar that you hold with two hands, you often need a spotter to make sure you don't drop it on your neck.
Right. So he was asking you to save his life, and you just pointed at him and said, "I see you." That is hilarious. But don't feel too bad, Alex. I actually have a gym disaster story of my own.
Oh, really? Please share it. I need to know I am not the only one making embarrassing mistakes.
Well, this was also during my first few months abroad. I decided to get a personal trainer to show me how to use the machines. We were walking through the cardio section of the gym.
The cardio section. For our learners, that is the area with the running machines and the exercise bikes. It is short for cardiovascular exercise.
Exactly. We walked up to the running machine, which in English is called a treadmill. The trainer turned the treadmill on at a very slow walking speed. And then he used a phrasal verb. He said, "Okay, Justine, let's warm up. Just hop on the treadmill."
Oh no, I know exactly what is going to happen.
Well, in conversational English, hop on just means to quickly get onto something. Hop on the bus, hop in the car, but I didn't know that phrasal verb.
Right, because the literal verb to hop means to jump up and down, like a rabbit, or to jump on one leg.
Yes, so I looked at the moving treadmill belt. I looked at the trainer. I took a deep breath and I literally hopped. I jumped high into the air like a kangaroo and landed with both feet on the moving belt.
You kangaroo jumped onto a moving treadmill.
I did, and because the belt was moving backwards, my feet flew out from under me. I completely wiped out. I fell flat on my back and slid right off the machine into a row of exercise bikes.
That is incredible. The trainer must have been so confused. Why is this girl jumping like a rabbit in my gym?
He rushed over to help me up. I was so embarrassed, I just pretended that it was my normal way of getting on machines. I said, "Oh, it's fine. I'm just very energetic today."
Okay, those are two fantastic examples of why vocabulary is so important. We have dumbbells, barbell, spot me, and treadmill. What about the words we use for actually doing the exercises?
Ah, yes. In English, we organize weightlifting into reps and sets. These are very important words.
Right. Reps is short for repetitions. It is the number of times you lift the weight without stopping. So if I lift the dumbbell 10 times, that is 10 reps.
Exactly. And a set is a group of reps. So a trainer might say, "I want you to do 3 sets of 10 reps." That means you lift it 10 times, take a rest, lift it 10 times, rest, and lift it 10 times again.
Okay, that vocabulary is crucial. But Justine, we need to talk about the absolute biggest grammar trap when it comes to talking about fitness. This is the mistake that almost every B1 learner makes when they try to talk about their hobbies.
Yes, listeners, please pay close attention to this. I am talking about the verbs we use for exercise. Because in many other languages, you just use the verb to make or to practice. You might say, "I make yoga," or "I practice swimming."
Do not say that in English. If you say, I make yoga, native speakers will be very confused. We do not use make or practice for general sports. We have 3 specific verbs you must learn: play, go, and do.
Exactly. Let's break this down into 3 golden rules. Rule number 1 is for the verb play. We use play for team sports, competitive sports, and sports that use a ball.
That one is easy. You play football, you play basketball, you play tennis, you play golf. If there is a ball and a winner, you use play.
Perfect. Rule number 2 is for the verb go. We use go for activities that end in the letters ing. These are usually activities you do outside, or activities where you travel from one place to another.
Right, so you don't play swimming or do swimming. You go swimming. You go running. You go cycling. You go skiing.
Exactly. If it ends in ing, you almost always use go. Now, rule number 3 is for the verb do. This is the trickiest one. We use do for individual activities, martial arts, and fitness classes.
Yes, this is where the yoga mistake happens. You do yoga. You do gymnastics. You do karate. You do Pilates. These are exercises you do with your own body, usually without a ball.
Exactly. So let's review. Play tennis. Go running. Do yoga. If you can remember those 3 rules, you will sound completely natural when talking about your fitness routine.
And I have one more tiny grammar trap before we do our quiz. It is the difference between workout as one word and workout as 2 separate words.
Oh, this is a fantastic point. They sound exactly the same when you say them out loud, but they are grammatically different.
Yes, when workout is just one single word, it is a noun. It is the thing you are doing. So you say, I had a great workout today, or my workout was very difficult.
But when it is 2 separate words, work and out, it is a phrasal verb. It is the action. So you say, I work out 3 times a week. Or, I am going to work out at the gym.
Exactly. You cannot say, I work out 3 times a week using the noun form. You must use the verb form. It is a subtle difference in writing, but it shows you really understand English grammar.
That is a brilliant tip. Okay, Alex, we have covered a massive amount of vocabulary today. We talked about dumbbells, barbells, spotting, treadmills, reps, sets, and the play, go, do rules. I think it is time to test our listeners.
I think so too. It is time for the Buddy Rapid Fire Quiz. Listeners, shout the answers out loud wherever you are.
Okay, Alex, you are in the hot seat today. Let's see if you remember the vocabulary.
Bring it on. I am ready.
Question 1. What is the name of the long, heavy metal bar that you lift with 2 hands?
That is a barbell, and the small ones for one hand are dumbbells.
Correct. Question 2. If a huge, muscular guy at the gym asks you to spot him, what does he want you to do?
He does not want you to point at him. He wants you to stand behind him and help him lift the weight safely.
Exactly. You are his safety net. Okay, question 3. This is a strict grammar test. What verb do you use with yoga? Do you play yoga, go yoga, or do yoga?
It is an individual activity, so you do yoga, just like you do karate.
Spot on. Okay, final question. What verb do you use with swimming?
It ends in ing, so you go swimming. You go running, you go swimming.
You aced it! A perfect score. You have definitely redeemed yourself from your terrible gym disaster.
Thank goodness. And if our listeners want to ace their own grammar tests and sound completely natural at the gym, do not forget to download the free PDF study guide for this episode. The link is right there in the description box below the video.
Yes, please grab the PDF. It has all the play, go, and do rules written down clearly with examples so you can study them. And before you go today, head down to the comment section and answer our question of the day. What is your favorite way to work out? Do you play tennis? Do you go running? Do you do yoga?
I can't wait to read the comments. Tell us your favorite workouts, and please tell us if you have ever had an embarrassing gym disaster like Justine hopping like a kangaroo. Subscribe to the channel for daily English lessons, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us on Daily English Buddy. Keep practicing your grammar, have a great workout, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.